Good morning. I'm County Judge Richard F. Cortez. On March the 16th of 2020, Governor Greg Abbott granted a request by the Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton to temporarily suspend a limited number of open meeting laws to the extent necessary to follow telephonic or video conference meetings in response to this COVID-19 matter. In accordance with those suspended rules, notice of this meeting of the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court has been online for at least, the Drainage District's court has been online for at least 72 hours. Although members of the board are not gathered in a central physical location, we will have a quorum in attendance at this meeting by video conference or telephone call. The board is meeting by the use of Zoom software and telephone transmission, which allows two-way communication for members of the public during the public participation forum. This meeting is being broadcast live and online. As we would on any other in-person meetings, members of the public who have followed the instructions on the meeting notice will be permitted to participate in the public forum portion of this agenda. If you would like to participate in a public forum at a future meeting conducted by video conference or telephone call, please follow the instructions on the posted meeting notice. All other meeting procedures will adhere to board adopted procedures to the extent possible. We apologize in advance for any unforeseeable technical difficulties and ask for your patience as we navigate through these unprecedented conditions. The time now is 9:47. We will begin with a roll call with Commissioner from Precinct 1.
Good morning, David Fuentes, Precinct 1.
Eddie Contu, Precinct 2.
Joe Malone, Precinct 3.
We do have Commissioner Eli Torres, and I'm County Judge Richard Cortez. That constitutes a quorum. Mr. Cecine, would you please lead us in prayer?
Very well, Judge. Let us pray. Father God, again, we give you many thanks for another day that you've allowed us to serve, Lord. We continue to ask for your guidance, continue to pray for our leadership, Lord. Continue to pray for our judge and four commissioners, Lord, that you've appointed to lead this great county, Lord. Continue to watch over them, continue to provide them with your wisdom, all your guidance, Lord, and more importantly, sir, Lord, continue to provide them with your peace through your son, Jesus, as they continue to make the decisions that affect us all, Lord. I continue to ask for that same guidance for myself, for all the leaders of this great county, for all the workers of this great county, Lord. We continue to pray for all those that are still battling illnesses, Lord, whether COVID-related or not, Lord. We ask for your healing hand upon them, Lord, and continue to watch over their families as well, Lord, as they recover. We continue to praise you and that you allow us to serve, Lord, and may we just work as we're working for you, Lord. We ask this in your son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Did anyone sign up for open forum?
No, Judge.
Okay. Then we'll go to the approval of the consent agenda.
Yes, sir, Judge. On consent agenda, approval, check register, standard procedures, and we have just some items that have been vetted by my accounting and engineering. Everything's in order. We recommend approval, sir.
Move for approval.
Second.
A motion and second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 5A, approval to issue payment on the following items: receiving review and compliance contract terms, application payment number 4 in the amount of $137,292.15. Moorwheel LLC pertaining to sunshine contract number ACDD 1-19077-1203, Hidalgo County Precinct 4, J09 Phase 4 Road Drainage Development Project. Saliva from my office engineer. Everything's in order. We recommend approval.
Approval.
Second.
A motion and second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 6A1, requesting approval to accept bids and award construction contract lowest and best bidder meeting all specified requirements. Moorwheel LLC for RFP number ACDD 1-2053-093-47-350. Improvements, mile 6.5 crossing, mile 10 north crossing, irrigation canal crossing, and mile 9 north road crossing. For the base bid and the total amount of $320,145.84, as recommended by the project engineer, Ms. Saliva from my office. Subject to legal review and compliance with House Bill 1295.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Item 2, pursuant to Texas Law Code 262031 and interest expedited project progress, request authority to approve for Drains District General Manager to execute change orders that involve an increase, decrease in cost of $50,000 or less. No event to exceed the change order statutory limits. The original contract price may not be decreased by 18% or more without the consent of the contractor.
For approval.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Item 7A, requesting approval of closing documents parcel 2-2 as it relates to project 2 of the 2018 drainage bond program, 3 3/4 mile road and Shoebox Road project, and authority for the chairman of the board to execute documents.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Do we have a need to go into closed session?
Judge, we do not have any items for executive session today, sir.
Okay.
Move to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
A motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Good morning. I'm County Judge Richard F. Cortez. On March the 16th of 2020, Governor Greg Abbott granted a request by Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton to temporarily suspend a limited number of open meeting laws to the extent necessary to allow telephonic or video conference meetings in response to the COVID-19 matter. In accordance with those suspended rules, notice of this meeting of the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court has been posted online for at least 72 hours. Although members of the commission are not gathered in a central physical location, we will have a quorum in attendance in this meeting by video conference or telephone call. The commission is meeting by the use of Zoom software and telephone transmission, which allows two-way communication for members of the public during the public participation forum. This meeting is being broadcast live online. As we would on any other in-person meeting, members of the public who have followed the instructions to the meeting notice will be permitted to participate in the public forum portion of this agenda. If you would like to participate in the public forum at a future meeting conducted by video conference or telephone call, please follow the instructions on the posted meeting notice. All other meeting procedures will adhere to board adopted procedures to the extent possible. We apologize in advance for any unforeseeable technical difficulties and ask for your patience as we navigate through these unprecedented conditions. The time now is 1 minute after 10, and we will begin with a roll call with Precinct 1 Commissioner.
David Fuentes, Precinct 1.
I believe that Commissioner Cantu will join us a little later today.
Olor, Precinct 3.
Kelly Torres, Precinct 4.
Richard Cortez, County Judge. That constitutes a forum. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Commissioner Fuentes will lead us in prayer today.
Lord Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day that you have given us. Please give us strength and courage to do your will. We pray for those who are suffering with COVID-19 and other ailments at this time, that you may grant them peace and mercy in their time of need. Please bless all of those that are here today, that we may be guided to make the best decisions for those that we serve. We pray for your support now and throughout the week, that our actions be reflective of your will. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
We have a public hearing to go, item 17B.
Thank you, Judge. This is under the CDBG mitigation 2015 and 2016. Items 1 and 2, I believe we're going to be doing them both at the same time. Public notice is hereby given in accordance with Chapter 551 Texas Government Code that a public hearing regarding Hidalgo County's applications for General Land Office CDBG-MIT 2015 and 2016 floods state mitigation competitions. So, Judge, with respect to the public hearing, I think if you can open the hearing and then we'll do the presentation that we identified in item number 2.
Sure. I declare the public hearing now open for all those that would like to make comments to us regarding this program.
So with your permission, Judge, we'd like to go ahead and proceed to item number 2, presentation regarding Hidalgo County's applications for General Land Office CDBG-MIT 2015 and 2016 flood state mitigation competitions. And then I think we can open the floor for comments if that's okay, Josie.
Yes.
Okay, so at this time, I'd like to ask for Raul Sassin to make the presentation on behalf of the county and the Drainage District.
Yes, sir, Commissioner, we need to get access to share the screen.
Yeah, he's going to need the access, please. Thank you.
It's ready, sir.
Great. Thank you. Thank you very much. Again, good morning, Judge, Commissioners, public. We have our Texas General Land Office CDBG-MIT 2015-2016 flood state mitigation competition, our public hearing. We have this project consists of submitting trust application for funding from GLO CDBG-MIT 2015 and 2016 flood state mitigation. Funding will be used to construct our main floodwater channel expansion into 2 phases to provide regional control benefits to Hidalgo County. We are requesting a total of $20 million, $10 million for phase 1 and $10 million for phase 2 from CDBG-MIT 2015 and CDBG-MIT 2016. In this public hearing, we're seeking public comments and part of the citizen participation plan. The background, what is CDBG-MIT project? It's a combination of eligible activities working together to reduce risks of natural hazards for a defined geographical area and population. Proposed activities must support the overall mitigation project, which would meet only one national objective. The MIT projects that we have, the CDBG-MIT projects, project service area must either address urgent mitigation need or be comprised of low and moderate income LMI beneficiaries. Each proposed project mitigate against one of the following identified risks: hurricanes, tropical storms, depressions, severe coastal riverine flooding, storms, and tornadoes. The criteria, eligibility criteria, project must meet HUD's definition of mitigation activities, which is increased resilience to disasters and eliminating the long-term risk of loss of life, injury, damage to, and loss of property and suffering hardship by lessening the impact of future disasters. Our application must meet the GLO application project definition, must address identified current and future risks, must meet definition of CDBG-MIT eligible activities and national objectives, must include a plan for long-term funding and management of M&O outside grant funds, cost verification controls. This is our main drain system. Currently, our system is comprised of primarily our IBWC/Rio Colorado outfalls and our main floodwater channel outfall. The project need. Saturation of our main floodwater channel is a major source of flooding in Hidalgo County. Stormwater outfalls to the Gulf of Mexico through one of the 2 routes. As I mentioned, we have WC floodway/Rio Colorado, and we have our main floodwater channel. Expanding the capacity of the main floodwater channel will produce most immediate and cost-effective regional flood control benefit for low to moderate income housing in all Hidalgo County. Our project impact area, the watershed for this area encompasses over 225,000 acres. This area includes many linear feet of existing ditches, whether irrigation or systems either maintained by the district or city systems as well that ultimately outfall into North Main Drain. The area that it will be served, it's unincorporated of Hidalgo County, included not limited to McAllen, Mission, Edinburgh, Pharr, Palmhurst, Alton, San Juan, Alamo, Elsa, Edcouch, and La Villa. Main floodwater channel expansion. The project itself in 2 phases. Phase 1 and phase 2, delineated in color. Phase 2 is the green starting at FM 491 going westerly. And phase 1 will continue that all the way to our main drain connection. the funding request. We're looking at phase one under the CDBG-MIT 2015 for a $10 million request to expand over 3.5 miles of floodwater channel from 100 feet to 350 to 400 feet. Again, increasing capacity, nearly 2 million cubic yards, mitigating widespread recurring future flooding, protecting properties of LMI households. Application for CDBG-MIT 2016, which is phase two. Again, the project cost is 10 million. We're requesting 10 million. Expand width of approximately 4 miles of main floodwater channel from, again, 100 feet to approximately 350 to 400 feet. And the project impact increased capacity by nearly 2 million cubic yards, mitigation widespread, recurring and future flooding. Project properties of protecting properties of LMI households. As part of this requirement, we have our public input. We have various ways that the public can input on this plan. We do have the plan available, the application at the website shown below, www.hidalgocounty.us/mitigation. The public can also submit comments via phone call 956-968-8733 or via email at mitigation@co.hidalgo.tx.us. Various public hearings will be held throughout the county, this being the first one. So that's all we have on our presentation. And we ask the public to provide input, the comments for this regional project that would help our area tremendously.
Is anybody signed up for any comments, Jonathan?
For open forum, yes, sir.
No, not for open forum, for this public hearing on our drainage.
No, sir. Sorry.
You might want to check the lobby, though. There might be a couple of people that were here to make a couple of comments, or at least I had gotten word that there was. Can we just double check?
While you're doing that, I really want to thank all the commissioners for taking a leadership role in this very important endeavor. As you know, the Rio Grande Valley really is a delta, and we have a lot of flooding problems. So I think the commissioners have really done a tremendous job, along with our drainage district personnel, to really trying to solve the problem. This is going to go a long way to helping us do that.
Thank you, Judge. While he's double checking, I'm not sure if somebody's looking into that, but I'd like to thank our drainage district as well. We've been working as a group collaboratively, trying to find the best impact or the most impact that we can make to all of our areas, or as many areas as we can. We're separated by essentially the expressway, those that flow north and those that flow south. And by focusing our efforts on expanding the main ditch, the main drain, the way we are proposing, this would have an impact not only on the west, all the way to precinct 3, but inclusive of precinct 4, 2, and 1, the incorporated and unincorporated areas. But the other thing that makes this project or these proposed projects advantageous for us is that I believe we already have existing right-of-way. We don't actually have to go out and try to acquire land, which is sometimes cumbersome with respect to time and money. So for us to be able to expand existing systems to create capacity like we would normally with detention facilities, this is a great alternative. The other thing is that we'd like to maximize the number of dollars that we're going to use towards construction by using using our drainage district and the staff that they have available who are familiar with the paperwork necessary by the General Land Office. I think that we'll be able to maximize as much of those dollars towards directly to construction. So that is an important part of our considerations here. But Jonathan, was there anybody there in the main lobby area that had anything to say?
Yes, sir. We have Mr. Pablo Cerrel. Let me bring them in.
On their end, they just want to make sure that everything checks out. Everything. No rounding off or whatever figures we have, or the exact figures.
They're in the meeting now.
Rounded some stuff off. Not just the others, but the stuff. that we overpaid like $40. We had to redo those documents. So that's it. That's the only thing that I have.
Mr. Gutierrez, are they on phone or are they in the hallway?
They're on the phone. One of them is on the phone, Mr. Pablo Serrel. He's already connected to the meeting, sir.
Mr. Pablo?
Yes, hello?
Oh, yes. Go ahead, sir.
Just want to reach out today because I saw that you guys are taking public comments during today's meeting. So I was looking at the applications for, I think their names are COBG-MIT 2015 and 2016 flood applications. So essentially my question is, how are these projects going to have any natural or green infrastructure components? So essentially that, and then the other part is I'm interested in how the county or city's water supply is being dealt with, because I know that the valley experienced a drought this past summer. So how are these projects going to address that?
Yes, sir. Thank you for your comments. We'll definitely note those comments. As they've been a public hearing, we will make those part of the public record and document that information. So.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, guys. And just want to thank, all of you guys for doing for helping us out during these weird times. And you guys are doing your job. So thank you so much.
We appreciate your comments.
You're welcome.
Else?
I was the only person that connected, Judge.
Can I add a comment, Judge?
Of course.
Okay, I just wanted to encourage the public to get involved during these times when we have public comment on events such as this. This application is really, really important. And the more public comment we have that helps strengthen our application, the better it is. So if anybody out there is listening and has the courage to come on and just make some comments about our application and really would help us strengthen that. So we encourage the public and anyone who's listening, employees of the county are also constituents, so they too can participate in this. So again, this really just helps strengthen our application.
Judge, in closing, I know that you can close the hearing, and then I'll make some closing remarks with respect to this so we can move on.
Okay, I declare the public hearing now closed.
So just in general, again, we'd like to, just like Commissioner Torres said, encourage the public to provide comments, good or bad, from their perspective, only from the standpoint that if we need to make different considerations as we move forward with this application, obviously we have the ability to do so before any awards are made. So it's important for the public and community to be active and engaged in this whole process. This main drain does connect to our Delta Reclamation project, so it would be a provider of water throughout. And like I mentioned earlier, this is along existing right-of-way and along an existing ditch, so we wouldn't be taking any further natural resources away from anyone or any. We wouldn't have to purchase any right-of-way. So I think that we've got a good plan and we'd like to move forward with it. But again, we'll have another hearing next week where people can continue to make comments, and there are other pathways. If they look at the last page of the presentation, for them to submit their comments. Again, we appreciate the Drainage District and the Commissioner's Court for supporting our initiative, and we look forward to moving forward and trying to continue to advocate for more mitigation and drainage monies to continue to improve the quality of life for our area. Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. I think that concludes that agenda item. Any other comments, any other thing before we move on? Okay, thank you. Well, we're going to go to item 4, the approval of the consent agenda. I'd like to pull item 9A for discussion.
Judge, Commissioners, with your permission, I'd also like to pull from the approval of the consent agenda item 7C. And Judge, you're pulling out item 9A, 1 and 2?
Yes.
And
I just believe that we need Mr. Cruz to give us just a little update how we're doing on our program.
okay. And then I also want to include consent agenda item 10D as well to pull from consent. Oh,
Okay.
my apologies. Not 7C, 8C. 8C.
Okay, so that's 9A, 9B, 8C, and is there another one?
10D.
10D. Okay.
Make a motion to approve without those items.
Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the remaining part of the consent agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
So,
Number 8C.
yes, Judge Commissioners, I'd like, for the record, the correct payer for item number 1 under tax refunds is Stallion Funding, and the correct payer for item number 2,
No, es que no es, pero estoy pensando en ti.
tax refunds, is Security First
No.
Credit Union.
No.
If we could, Judge Commissioners, if we could have a motion with those corrections.
I wanted to make sure. Don't move.
Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Judge, my apologies, Judge. Just for the record, when as we're going to go into consent agenda item 9A, 1 and 2, the record, Commissioner Fuentes will be abstaining from any discussion and/or action under consent agenda item 9A, 1 and 2.
Thank you.
Okay, Sergio, I just wanted to pull this out so you can kind of give us a
Health
report.
insurance. It's health insurance.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. Yes, on item 9A, these reflect the claims for the last 2 weeks. As of the end of September, we have roughly about 24.1 million.
Because my wife does business with Aetna.
No, I'm asking why we're paying a 1.2, but
Yes.
because we're self-insured, right?
Judge Fuentes, you're not on mute.
I'm sorry.
Yes, we have roughly 24.1 million in revenues through the end of September. Claims and expenses for administration and stop loss, and also for the administration of the personnel that runs the health insurance program as well as the voluntary products. We have roughly about 23.5 million in expenses right now through the end of the third quarter. Again, unaudited. Right now we have roughly about 580,000 surplus that we're running, and we do expect that to continue through the end of the year.
Okay, well, thank you very much for that report. That is good news. May I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second. We have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Judge Commissioners, with your permission, consent agenda item 10D. For the record, the correct purchase order number for invoice 11328-306 is 772041. We could have a motion with that correction.
May I have a motion?
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Called it.
Yes, ma'am.
Just going back to item 9, I don't know if you made a statement on the record. Commissioner Fuentes abstained.
Yes.
Okay.
That he abstained from any discussion and or action with respect to consent agenda item 9A, 1 and 2.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I believe we're at item number 5, open forum. Do we have people sign up for open forum? Jonathan?
Yes, Judge. First, we have Jerusalem Flores. Let me bring them in.
Open forum.
Hello?
Yes. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Yes.
Okay.
Sir, for the record, there is a 3-minute time limit under open forum.
Okay.
advise when there is 1 minute, and I will start when you start.
Okay, sir. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, we can.
Okay, I'm gonna start right now. First of all, good morning, Judge Cortez and commissioners. Thank you for your hard work during these times of Hurricane Hannah and COVID. This is Jerusalem Flores, and I'm calling today because I strongly feel that an economic distress tax exemption needs to be created. It could be a temporary tax exemption just for these times of the COVID pandemic. This exemption would prevent would prevent homeowners from losing their primary homes or residences. Now, I know the county doesn't have the resources to pay for rents and mortgages. You know, that's something for the federal government if they wish to do so. But you can assist a person who is at risk of losing his primary residence because he can't pay his taxes, you know, due to this pandemic and economic downturn. I've done some looking into this, and every time things like this happen, a lot of people lose their homes. I remember back in the 1980s, Willie Nelson and Don Mellencamp, they started Farm Aid because a lot of farmers back then were losing their homes. So yeah, when things like this happen, economic downturns and whatever, a lot of people lose their homes, and sometimes it's because of tax. Okay. You know, in the 1930s, once again, a lot of people lost homes because they just couldn't pay their taxes. Of course, some couldn't pay their rents and mortgages, but that's just something different. You know, I can go down throughout history, 1880s, and when things like this happen, it's like, you know, a lot of people lose their homes.
1 minute.
But they could have been saved. You know, they could have, if they were given some type of tax exemption, you know, they had their homes paid. This is throughout history, or throughout the history that I looked at from the 1880s forward. So yes, if you could just please consider looking into that, some type of tax exemption, if, of course, if it's needed down the road, because this economic downturn seems to be, it's going to, from what I hear, it's going to continue worsening and things. Okay, let's see. Well, thank you for listening to me today, this morning, and you have a great afternoon.
Thank you. Will somebody get his name and contact information so we can notify him of our rent and mortgage payment program that the county already has to help people that couldn't pay their rents or their mortgage? So he'll become aware of it. Next person.
Yes, we have Miss Fern McClarity.
Good morning, Ms. McClarity. There is a 3-minute time limit. I will advise when there is 1 minute, and I will start when you start.
This is just a note to express our appreciation for keeping the tax rate at 57.5 cents. This will make a difference to the families, and we are encouraging all taxing bodies to do the same. Some have even lowered their tax rate, so thank you. A lot of them are small little cities that have lowered it to help their people. Keeping the tax rate is important because families need schools to reopen, not to educate, but rather to feed them, their kids. Building a courthouse and increasing public jobs and salaries will not produce poverty. It will just make it harder for 1.2 million people to live in Hidalgo County. I can hear one of you say, but it will improve the lives of my family and my friends. Providing public service is your job. You may not benefit from the decisions you make as an elected official. It is important for me to say this because they're rarely considered, and there is always a way around the policy. Elected officials live in a fishbowl, and they are very few unknowns. The county strategy for reducing poverty is to use the U.S. Census to obtain greater portion of the federal money. No one seems to notice that the federal government is $27 trillion in debt, and it's growing. If you think the federal government is going to bail Hidalgo County out of poverty, you need to get in line right behind California and New York. Poverty is a local problem, and it needs to be addressed by improving financial management, stop spending, and reduce the tax rates. This would allow the private sector to increase employment and thereby improve the economy. Based on historical data, reducing taxes will increase tax revenue, and it requires taxing bodies to limit spending. Assuming that President Trump is reelected, there will be at least one more targeted stimulus package as a means of improving the economy. But it is unlikely that the social programming will continue at the same level of financial support.
1 minute.
November 4th will be the beginning of our new concept of government, especially if the Democrats lose the House. Also today, I want to ask questions about on the agenda 20A1, countywide Wi-Fi. We're going to spend $15,945,567.52. 21B, a building and 4.5 net acres. It's not 5 acres. You need to check. It should have said plus or minus. We're paying $1,138,895. The appraisal district has it valued at $825,254, and it keeps going down for several years. So again, the taxpayers are getting stuck with the bill. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Anyone else? Jonathan?
That was it, Judge.
Right. Well, thank you very much.
Judge, Commissioners, with your permission, out of an abundance of caution, I was just brought to my attention, so I want to address it. Consent agenda item 9B. I'd like for the court just to act on it. I'm going to ask Commissioner Fuentes to abstain. Commissioner? Yes? With the TriStar?
Yes, I'll abstain on that. Yes.
So, Judge, Commissioners, just to be sure that there was appropriate action taken on item 9B, I'm going to ask the court to again approve consent agenda item 9B.
May I have a motion to do so?
So move.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Well, today's a very special day. We get to honor two outstanding educators from our area, and you know how important education is. So today it's an honor to present a proclamation to Mr. Superintendent, Mr. Jay Gonzalez. Missy, do you have a proclamation to read?
Yes, Judge, I do. Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Proclamation declaring October 22nd, J.A. Gonzalez Day. May I read the proclamation?
Please.
Thank you. Whereas Dr. J.A. Gonzalez was named Texas Superintendent of the Year by the Texas Association of School Boards, TASB, in a virtual announcement during the 2020 annual TASB convention held in Austin, Texas. And whereas as the first winner ever from McAllen ISD and a veteran educator of 25 years who has worked his way up the ladder beginning as a teacher, assistant principal, then an associate superintendent for instructional leadership. Before becoming McAllen ISD superintendent in 2016, over the years, he has demonstrated strong skills in educational consulting, classroom management, lesson planning, educational systems, and instructional design over the years. And whereas born in Laredo, Dr. Gonzalez was raised in Hebronville. He graduated from Texas A&M University, Kingsville, with a Bachelor of Science degree in 1996, and earned a Master of Science degree in Educational Administration from the University of Pan American in 1999. Between 2000 and 2003, he earned his Mid-Management Administrator and Superintendent certifications. His Doctorate of Education, with an emphasis in educational leadership, was completed in 2008 through the University of Texas Pan American. And whereas Dr. Gonzalez is married to Sharul T. Gonzalez, also an educator, sharing a household family with 3 children, Joe Douglas, Samantha Isabella, and Joshua J. And whereas having been a great role model to his family, community, and McAllen ISD students, Dr. Gonzalez states, "I am fascinated with the art of teaching and learning. We will all have a particular learning style, and it is our job as educators to help our students discover their talents and to build on their natural skill sets. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court honors Dr. J.A. Gonzalez for his distinguished recognition as Texas Superintendent of the Year by proclaiming October 22nd, Dr. J.A. Gonzalez Day, and applauds his educational service towards McAllen ISD for having led the transformation in March of 2020, addressing the COVID-19 pandemic's impact that kept instruction at the forefront while keeping students and staff safe. Approved this 6th day of October 2020.
I have a motion to approve the proclamation.
So moved.
Approval.
So a motion second to approve it. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Congratulations, Mr. Superintendent.
Judge, Commissioners, just so you all know, joining us today is Dr. J.A. Gonzalez, as well as Mrs. Sharu Gonzalez, his wife. And he also has a couple of others joining us, Mr. Michael De La Rosa and Miss Sue Peterson.
Doctor, please say some words of wisdom to us.
Yes, sir, Judge. First and foremost, I want to thank you for this tremendous honor. Judge Cortez, I consider you a great friend, a tremendous leader, and you do a lot for our community and our county. To all the Commissioners Court, thank you all so much for everything that you do. It's impressive to see you all in action in the work that you do to keep our county moving in a positive direction. This honor is frankly unbelievable for you all to go above and beyond the call of duty for me and my family. Also to the McAllen ISD board and the entire McAllen ISD team. This is a tremendous team effort for us. It puts McAllen ISD on the map, and it definitely puts our county and our city on the map. It's just such a tremendous honor to be here with you all today. And please know that I don't take this lightly. I honor each and every one of you, and I commit to you that I will continue working hard to educate the children of our community to make sure that we put them in a position to accomplish their dreams. You know, as educators, we're entrepreneurs of the human spirit. We're in the dream business. So I want to make sure that we do everything that we can to put every one of our children in a position to excel, regardless of what their dream might be. McAllen ISD is committed to that. But once again, as I close, I do want to thank you all. And I know my wife's on the line and my parents are watching from Hebbronville, Texas. So I love you guys, and this is for you all. Thank you.
Well, we're very honored and privileged to have you here from all the way from Hebbronville to give us all this great work that you've done. I tell you, it's very rewarding to us to have the caliber of people that you represent, Mr. Superintendent. We very thank you for that service. Does Mrs. Gonzalez want to say anything? Okay.
It's the first time she doesn't want to say something, Judge.
There she
No, I'm here. I had to find the infamous mute button. Thank you all so very much. Thank you.
Well, it's great. It's great to have him here. Well, again, thank you very much, Mr. Superintendent. That's a big deal. I mean, that's a very, very special honor, and we're so grateful for your work. And October 22nd, J.A. Gonzalez Day. Wow. Congratulations again.
Congratulations, Dr. Gonzalez. Very proud of you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Well, speaking of educators, we have another resolution to honor another outstanding superintendent. I'd like to pass it on to Commissioner Fuentes.
Thank you, Judge, and congratulations to Dr. Gonzalez over there at McAllen ISD. By the looks of it, he's just kind of starting out in his career. We've got somebody on the other side of the spectrum who has spent the last 53 years working in some capacity with the school district. And we have quite a few people joining us from Weslaco ISD. At least from the screen, I can see that we have a few administrators that are here, people that he's worked with, people that he's helped along the way. From the standpoint that he's been a teacher, a coach, a principal, and a superintendent, board member. I've had the distinct pleasure of being not only a student when he was a principal, a teacher when he was a superintendent, and a board member sitting alongside him at the dais. So I've been around this man many, many years. He's very passionate about boys and girls, and in recognition of all of those years of service, we've invited his friends and supporters there at Weslaco ISD. We've got a small resolution for him, and I'm going to pass it over to Mr. Mario Cano to go ahead and read that resolution on our behalf.
Thank you, Commissioner. Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. I present the resolution in honor of Dr. Richard Rivera for 53 years of service. Whereas Dr. Richard Rivera is being honored for his exceptional work and dedication towards education after serving with distinction and integrity for the past 53 years throughout his career with Weslaco ISD. And whereas Rivera first joined WISD in 1967 as a classroom teacher and a coach, in 1974, Rivera became principal at Mary Ho Junior High School, serving for 5 years. In 1979, he became principal at Weslaco High School and held that position for 17 years before becoming superintendent in 1996. And whereas being a lifelong learner himself, Dr. Rivera returned to school and earned his doctorate degree in 2008. Throughout those years of his contribution towards education, Rivera was named Region 1 Superintendent of the Year in 2003 and 2007. He was also named Administrator of the Year by the Texas Classroom Teachers Association and received the Exemplary Superintendent Award from the University of Texas at Austin. And whereas serving as superintendent for 14 years, Dr. Rivera transformed WISD, improving state test scores, upgrading facilities, and expanding student programming, earning the distinction of recognized school district from the Texas Education Agency for 12 out of the 14 years of his tenure. And whereas Dr. Rivera retired as superintendent for WISD in 2010 and returned to serve on the Weslaco ISD School Board in 2012, where he helped set policy that continues to impact the lives of Weslaco students and staff today. He is now concluding his 8-year stint on the board and a lifetime of service to the community of Weslaco ISD. Now therefore be it resolved that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby recognizes and honors Dr. Richard Rivera for his outstanding service, dedication, and commitment during his 53 years of service to Weslaco ISD and community, and on this day wishes him a long, healthy, and fruitful retirement. Approved this 22nd day of September 2020.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Congratulations.
As you can see there on the screen, Judge, we have quite a few administrators from Weslaco ISD, including the superintendent, Dr. Priscilla Canales, and other administrative staff. So I'm going to pass this over to Dr. Canales to say a few words on his behalf, since Dr. Rivera had a conflict and wasn't able to join us today. Doctor?
Thank you. Good morning, Honorable Judge Richard Cortez and Commissioners. First of all, thank you for your leadership during the pandemic and for having your hearts, your minds, and your hands centered on doing what's best for community and children. I do have a few words from our board president, Mr. Nieto, who could not be here this morning, but expresses nothing but praises for Dr. Rivera over his 53-year career. Mr. Nieto wanted me to share that Dr. Rivera served as an inspiration for the 53 years, including to Mr. Nieto, and that our district has been graced by his presence in so many different ways throughout those 53 years. 53 years, wow, that's as old as I am. I just can't imagine. He's been working to make a difference for children for 53 years. I've been in Weslaco short of 5 years now. And Dr. Rivera has always the type of person who is always there if anybody needs anything at all. And he puts children first. He says often, and staff shares with me, that schools were made for children, and that has been his focus for 53 years. So I've been honored to serve as a superintendent under his leadership as a board of trustee and also as a mentor, because he has been a superintendent for so long. So to Dr. Rivera, we thank you for this proclamation. It is an honor, I know, for him and his family. And I'm going to turn this over to Mrs. Peterson, who has worked with him for many, many years, who's going to share a few words on behalf of district staff. Mrs. Peterson.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to recognize this great leader. I've worked in Wesco ISD for 40 years now. Obviously, the whole time almost with Dr. Rivera until he left us to join the board. I knew of Dr. Rivera when I started here, but I was mostly in the elementary schools until I became principal at Roosevelt Intermediate the same year that Dr. Rivera became superintendent. And that's when I began to work much more closely with him. He's always been a great supporter of his principals, and we have always appreciated that support that we have from him. I am also grateful that he named me as the opening principal for Wesco East High School and was very supportive of that campus becoming a full high school in 2003. It was because of his push that the board then decided that Wesco East was ready to open as a full high school, which was a gift to our community and to our students. I want to thank Dr. Rivera for everything that he has done for the boys and girls of Wesco. He truly does believe that our schools, as Dr. Canales stated, exist for them, and he believes that education is a great equalizer. He has said it many, many, many times. He has lived his life focused on what's best for boys and girls. His decisions were always focused on what's best for boys and girls. He will be tremendously missed in our district and in the others that he has worked at across the valley in recent years. But we wish him the very best, and we are blessed to have been able to work with him for this length of time. So congratulations, Dr. Rivera. And again, thank you, commissioners, for recognizing him today.
Thank you again to Wesco ISD staff. I know that a lot of those people I worked with and was with, including Dr. Rivera. I'm thankful that all of you showed up today in support of Dr. Rivera and all his years of service. And thank you again, Judge, for allowing us to recognize him for his, 53 years of service. I don't think I've ever heard of that before, but for recognizing education in general today, not only Dr. Gonzalez, but Dr. Rivera as well. So thank you again for everybody who participated today. And thank you for taking time out to recognize this tremendous achievement.
Well, I want to close. I am a little older than 53, by the way, Ms. Canales. So I do remember, Dr. Rivera also have another talent. He was a pretty good high school football player. He was a running back. I tried to catch him many times and I couldn't. So he's a man of multiple skills. So it's great to recognize his achievement, his dedication to something very worthwhile. Thank you all for being with us here today.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Okay, we have another proclamation dealing with Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
Good morning, Judge, commissioners, and to all the citizens of Hidalgo County. Thank you for having us. Also, Councilor Ramirez and also Mr. Guerra. Again, thank you for having us this morning. With us today, we have Rosie Martinez, who is the victims coordinator. We have Amy Cantu, who is the chief prosecutor in the domestic violence unit. And we have Mr. Juan Viescas, the first assistant. Thank you for your consideration and declaring October Domestic Violence Awareness Month, which is a campaign, which is an awareness that's very, very important to us, and I know very important to you as well, and to our community. So, if you would allow me, Judge, Commissioners, I'm going to ask Ms. Cantu to read the proclamation.
Please.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Judge Cortez and the commissioners for having us this morning. I just wanted to say a few words before I read the proclamation. Domestic violence affects women, men, and children of every age, background, and belief. During Domestic Violence Awareness Month, we commit to doing everything that we can to help our community to be free from violence and abuse. We ask that you join us today in raising awareness by wearing purple and participating in events this month throughout our community. Today, let us pledge our support to victims in need and to recognize the advocates, the service providers, and the organizations who work hard every day to give hope to those in need. Judge Cortez, may I read the proclamation?
Please do.
Proclamation declaring October 2020 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Whereas the crime of domestic violence violates an individual's privacy and dignity, security, and humanity due to the systematic use of physical, emotional, sexual, psychological, and economic control, domestic violence extends to the abuse of children and the elderly. And whereas the problems of domestic violence are not confined to any group of or groups of people, but cut across all economic, racial, and societal barriers and are supported by societal indifferences. And whereas the impact of domestic violence is wide-ranging, directly affecting individuals and society as a whole, here in this community, throughout the United States and the world, and whereas the Hidalgo County Criminal District Attorney's Office Victims Unit and Hidalgo County Family Violence Task Force, in collaboration with other local groups and agencies, are working to educate the public about the resources available for victims of domestic violence, and whereas survivors of domestic violence themselves have been at the forefront of efforts to bring peace and equality to the home, domestic violence can no longer be treated as a silent epidemic. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby proclaims the month of October 2020 to be Domestic Violence Awareness Month and urges all citizens to actively participate in scheduled activities and programs to work towards eradicating domestic violence, improving victim safety, and holding perpetrators of domestic abuse accountable for their actions against individuals and our society as a whole. Approved this 6th day of October 2020.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the proclamation. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Amy. And Judge and County Commissioners, again, we thank you for your continued support. You have allowed us to build a team of prosecutors, advocates, administrators, a team that has been given a service to victims that by law we're supposed to give that service. And you have made that happen. Not only of the resources that you've given us, but also the funding that you've given us. We've been able to receive grants in the millions of dollars, and you guys have been very supportive of that. So we appreciate that. I must tell you that we will continue to work with law enforcement and collaborating and partnering up with law enforcement to make sure that we're very efficient and effective, not only in bringing awareness, but also in prosecuting our cases. And yes, this campaign has grown over the last 6 years, and it has allowed us and you as well in the community to send a message, a unified message, that we will no longer be silent, that we will continue to bring this campaign forward that is recognized today nationwide during this month. And you have allowed us to do that. I can tell you that we have serviced and we have helped thousands of individuals that have come through this office here in Hidalgo County. And we will continue to do that with your support. But also very important, we're always reaching out to the community. The community plays a big role in making sure that we bring awareness of domestic violence, which is prevalent within our community. Our community plays a big role, and we ask them to keep joining us in making sure that we stop domestic violence, and we're there to give the services that are needed. I want everyone to think of this today, that when you go home today after this long hours of work, Many of us go home where there's comfort, where there's love, where one feels good of being at home. I can tell you that does not exist for many individuals. Many individuals don't have that opportunity to be where it's a sanctuary place and they feel safe. Unfortunately, but we must continue to understand that is happening today, and if we continue understanding and knowing that it does exist today, and that we can help that neighbor, we can help that family member, we can help that friend. We will make a difference. We'll make a difference. Today, we're in the last days of some campaigns that are very important, not only here in Hidalgo County and the state of Texas, but all throughout the nation. Yeah. Some important campaigns. But we ask you all to please not forget this campaign that where we're trying to end domestic violence. This campaign is important and must continue as long as we're here and as long as this community makes every effort to stop domestic violence. So again, thank you, Judge, Commissioners, for all your continued support. Again, we've been able to build this team based on your support, and we will continue doing the best we can and working with our community as much as we can. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. DA. Thank you for the hard work you do. Domestic violence is certainly not acceptable here in this county. We thank you for all your efforts.
Thank you. Thank you. Maybe excuse Judge, Commissioners.
Please.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Well, we have a grant to approve. The District Attorney's Office. Mm-hmm.
Good morning, Commissioner. Judge Rosalinda Cantu presenting for the District Attorney's Office. Item 7B, the DA Victim Coordinator and Liaison Grant, Fund 1281. We're asking for approval and authorization for County Judge Richard F. Cortez as authorized official to sign the inventory report form.
For approval.
Second.
Okay, motion and second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries.
May I proceed to item
Yes.
8? Item 8A, HIDA OCDF Fund 1291. We're asking for approval of the fiscal year 2020 overtime agreement and the Hidalgo County DA HIDA Task Force in the amount of $19,180.25. We're also asking for authorization to pay overtime reimbursable under the grant terms and conditions. And we're also asking for approval of certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor for fiscal year 2021, OCDF agreement in the amount of $19,180.25 and appropriation of the same.
Move for approval on 8, A, B, and C, 1, 2, 3.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Item 8B, HIDA OCDF Fund 1291. We're asking for approval of fiscal year 2021 Organized Crime Drug Enforcement Task Force agreement between the Hidalgo County DA HIDA Task Force and the Drug Enforcement Administration, McAllen District Office, Houston Division Office, OCDF Strike Force, Group D81. And we're also asking for approval of certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor for the OCDF grant award in the amount of $10,800 and appropriation of the same.
Move for approval on B, 1 and 2.
Second.
Second.
The motion is second to approve. All in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sheriff's Department.
Hi, good morning. Pursuant to Hidalgo County Cellular Telephone Policy, AT&T DIR TSO 3420, presentation for consideration, acceptance, and can you all hear me there? Hello?
Yes.
Okay. Approval of requisition 420244 for 114 unlimited FirstNet data lines at $37 each for the patrol units.
For approval.
Second.
We have a motion second to approve. All in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Also, we're requesting acceptance and approval for the purchase of plaques for employee recognition for years of service with the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office, requesting acceptance and approval of public purpose purchase of challenge coins in recognition of Hidalgo County Adult Detention Center officers.
I have a motion.
So moved.
Approve. Second.
We have a motion to approve. All in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Constable Precinct 2.
You won't answer. She probably hit by mistake.
No, she said she knew it was you, but she was going to call back.
Somebody, Father, you want to read it?
Judge, Commissioners, with your permission, for Constable 2, discussion, consideration, approval to appoint Manuel Cantina Martinez as a deputy constable by Constable Martin N. Cantu, Constable Precinct 2, in accordance with Texas Local Government Code, Section 86.011.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Human Resources. Mr. Salguero.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Raul Salguero, Human Resources. Number 11, number 11A. First, we're requesting a waiver of the following, if applicable, for personnel items that are listed. 1, Civil Service Commission Rules, Section 3.22. 2, Hidalgo County Personnel Policy Manual, Section 6.27. And 3, Budget Amendment Policy, Personnel-Related Amendments. Requesting a waiver, please.
So moved. Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Item B, Judge and Commissioners, for Constable Precinct 5. And this will be subject to funding and subject to, they submitted copies of the PAR. We're waiting on the originals, so it'll be subject to that. Approval to create one full-time temporary position effective 10/13 through 12/31. This is for 2.5 months. They have a deputy out on FMLA, so they're asking permission to hire a temporary deputy through the end of the year, and that would be for slot T008. They also have another vacancy that they haven't been able to fill, so that's why they're asking for this temporary position to help them with the workload.
So moved.
Motion to approve. Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor say aye.
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 Carries.
Thank you very much. That's all I have. Good morning. Thank you.
From my office, we have Chief Saldana on the next item, 12A.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. I come before you seeking authorization to submit a grant proposal to Firehouse Sub Public Safety Foundation, the amount of $25,000 for the purchase of an all-terrain vehicle to assist in emergency situations. Seeking authorization.
So moved.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Avila.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. For item 13A, 1, requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under the Texas Local Government Code 262.024A4 for professional engineering services.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries.
And for 13A2, presentation of the scoring grid for the purpose of ranking by Commissioner's Court of at least 3 professional engineering firms from the county's approved pool as graded and evaluated by the City of Sullivan, the Urban County Program, and the Hidalgo County Purchasing Department in connection with the funded through the Hidalgo County Urban County Program year 2020 Sullivan City Street Improvements Funds. If I may read them as ranked: CSJ Group with a 91.33, M2 Engineering 90.33, MEG Engineering 84.00. Then number 3, authority to negotiate a professional and engineering service contract with the number ranked firm of CSJ Group for the provision of engineering service for an Urban County Program year 33, 2020 Sullivan City Street Improvement Funds.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we went back to approve the way it was graded and
13.
To select the highest one is to authorize and negotiate, I believe is the motion. We have a motion, a second to approve. All in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries.
And for item 13B, requesting approval of a resolution for designation and authorizing bonded signatories regarding the Texas Department of Agriculture and Hidalgo County Urban County Program UCP 2020 Emergency Services Help for Colonias contract number 7219133.
So moved.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners.
Thank you, Mr. Avila. Mr. Olivares.
Good morning, Judge. Eddie Olivares, Hidalgo County Health and Human Services. I have one item this morning, is item 14A, to inform Commissioners Court of the automatic renewal of a one-year term under the same term and conditions for the interlocal cooperative agreement between the County of Hidalgo and the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley for the use of the San Carlos Community Center. As you know, sir, we've been having our AHIC program there, Allied Health Educational Center there, in partnership with UTRGV, in partnership with Commissioner Torres, who has been a tremendous leader in her team in guiding us. We're looking at this renewal for an additional year and working closely with UTRGV on any future agreements in the future through the office of Commissioner Torres. I'll pause here. Commissioner Torres, anything you'd like to add to this or any recommendations?
Yes, sir. Actually, we have Dr. Bernal and Ms. Veronica Gonzalez with us, and I'll give them an opportunity to join us with some comments. But this has been a tremendous partnership between the precinct, the county, and the university. Our constituents out there are very fortunate to have this clinic out there. I know that in this we have over 1,500 patients that have come through there with over 4,000 visits. And obviously that just showcases the need that exists out there. I'm very proud to also announce that we're going to have a new bus shelter coming soon to that right in front of that clinic, pretty much right off of 107, that will help facilitate access to that clinic. And we're just excited to be partners with them and work with them and bring this service to our constituents there. But I'd like to give them an opportunity to make comment as well.
Thank you, Commissioner. This is Veronica Gonzalez with UTRGV, and I just want to give a real thanks to Judge Cortez and all the commissioners, and particularly Commissioner Eli Torres, Eddie Olivares, who have worked with us so much, and also Alicia Rodriguez is out there at the site, and Lydia Maldonado, who's the chairperson of the advisory board. Dr. Renaud and I are both on this morning, and we couldn't be more grateful to the county for this partnership because it has made an impact on the people that most need it, and those are the folks that don't have access to primary care. This clinic is open 5 days a week. You know, when we started, it was like 2 to 3 days a week. We're now open 5 days a week. We provide the full spectrum of primary care services, women's health services, and we're happy to be there and happy for this partnership. We very much appreciate the fact that the county is taking the healthcare of the most indigent as being one of its greatest priorities. And again, we thank Commissioner Torres and her staff, Eddie and all your staff and everyone at the county for this partnership.
Thank you very much.
Judge Cortez, Commissioner, and Commissioner's Court, I of course can't say it any better than the Commissioner and the Vice President already did. The Commissioner mentioned the number of individuals who have received health care through the clinic. I want to add that we'll soon be adding to the specialized women's health services. So the women of the community won't have to travel so far to get that very important service. I want to add the fact that in addition to the health care that we provide there, we have students coming to work in the community. One of the main purposes of this grant is the intention to entice healthcare professionals to work in our rural underserved areas. So we're very proud of those interdisciplinary teams. We also provide continuing education opportunities, and we involve high school students in the hope that they'll get excited about being healthcare professionals. I want to add our thanks to the partnership that allowed for that bus, the transportation site to be added there. You can have the best health care in the world, but if people can't access it, it's a hindrance. So we appreciate all the partnership and resources going into that. And I'd like to add my thanks to Mr. Olivares and Hidalgo County Health and Human Services for their continued support. And the Vice President mentioned it, but Mrs. Lydia Maldonado, who you know is a very prominent businesswoman in the area, is the chair of our advisory board, and she and Alicia Rodriguez have been very, very supportive. So thank you, and we hope you're willing to continue this partnership. We're very excited about it.
And just to add to that, Judge, I just want to echo that Alicia Rodriguez, our Precinct 4 CRC administrator, and Ms. Maldonado have truly been instrumental. And I can honestly credit Ms. Alicia Rodriguez for having brought this partnership to the precinct and having the university and the precinct work together prior to me coming in. But we will continue to build those relationships and keep this going for our constituents out there.
Well, primary care for our people is so important. You know, we're one of the only counties in the state of Texas without a public hospital. So they don't have a lot of access to primary care. So this is extremely important. And we're very proud to be in partnership with the UT organization. Thank you very much. I have a motion to approve, please.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Have a blessed day.
Mr. Longoria, we have 15A.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. Item 15A is a discussion, consideration, and possible action to amend the 2020 Comprehensive Energy Assistance Program, that's CAP, Service Delivery Plan for Program Year 2020. Judge, Commissioners, as you know, this is our regular funding that we receive to assist families year after year with electric bills. Generally by this time, our utility fund is pretty close to being depleted. And this year is no different. These are regular funds. These are not COVID-related funds, but these are funds that year in, year out help families be able to pay their bills. I'm asking the court to consider a stoppage of any new applications to our program for regular assistance. Now, families that are facing disconnection of utilities or families that were affected by COVID-19, we have funds set aside to be able to assist those families. But this is a regular course of business for us. In years past, we've had lines outside the door in the morning as these funds started to dwindle to an end, generally by the end of August. So we've been able to receive a few more regular dollars to assist families and get us into October. So I'm asking the court to authorize me to terminate any new applications and not allow any new applications for regular funding, but certainly keep the door open for families that are facing disconnection or families that are facing COVID hardships.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Commissioners. Item 15B is a discussion, consideration, and possible action to approve the renewal notice of funding opportunity for the AmeriCorps Senior Programs, Senior Companions Program, grant number 18SCWTX003, and Foster Grandparents Program, FGP grant 18SFWTX002 for program year 2021. A bit of information for the court, Judge. 3 years ago, these two grants were being funded and administered by a nonprofit, a local nonprofit. 3 years ago, that local nonprofit ran into some hardship, and they relinquished these two grants. These are grants where we pay a stipend to people over the age of 55 to serve in the community in one capacity. They actually serve in schools, and they serve in Head Start centers as foster grandparents. In another program, they also serve other seniors who are shut-ins for all intents and purposes. These programs continue even today in the day of the pandemic. where we have these seniors are actually calling other seniors to make sure that they're doing okay with regards to food, doing okay with regards to medication, and almost just as importantly, doing okay mentally and in terms of depression and screening for those kinds of things. And really, they've been a lifeline to many folks. We do pay a little stipend to each of these senior companions and foster grandparents. This year, their stipend went from $2.65 an hour to $3 an hour. All of this is tax-free funds for these seniors who are doing this important work. So the county's match, the county had agreed to provide the 10% match for each of these grants. So the county match this year went up about $5,000 in each of these grants. So we're looking at, in the interest of full disclosure, there is a 10% grant match for the foster grandparents program. The county's portion would be $30,435. And for the senior companions program, the county's match would be $53,356. I'm asking the court to approve that pending the identification of the funds through Mr. Cruz's office.
Motion to approve.
Second. Do we have a motion and second to approve? All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Longoria.
Thank you very much, Mr. Longoria.
Yes, thank you for all you do. And now more than ever, we need programs like this, especially for our senior citizens. Again, thank you for all you do, sir.
I'd like to thank the court for all of the support that you all have placed, at our disposal to be able to assist the families of Hidalgo County during the pandemic, as well as the seniors who are the vulnerable population. And I just wanted to mention to the judge that I did hear the public comment earlier, and I'll be reaching out to that person to let them know about our rent and mortgage program. We continue to provide information to families about all the variety of resources that we have to help ease the effects of the pandemic going forward. So thank you all so much for your support.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for your service, Mr. Longoria. Ms. Ramon, Elections Administration.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Hilda Salinas here on the behalf of Yvonne Ramon, who could not be here as she's preparing for the upcoming election. So I'll go ahead and I'll go on with discussion on election updates. Item 77661. Yesterday was the last day to register to vote or to make changes on your voter registration record for the November 3rd, 2020 presidential election. Our office stayed open until 8 p.m. to answer questions and to take voter registration applications. We did implement a drive-through service after 5 p.m. here at the main office, and we did have a line of cars beginning at 5 p.m. and it extended to Cano Street all the way until, I want to say, like 7:55 p.m. So many people did take advantage of the extended hours and stop by. Yesterday, we received a total of 1,405 voter registration applications. So it was a great turnout for the last day of voter registration. At this time, we want to thank Hidalgo County Information Technology Department for assisting us in creating the sample ballot lookup tool. This tool offers a convenient way for our voters to look up their sample ballot. You can find the link on our website at www.hidalgocountry.us/elections. Clicking on the link will direct you to the app. You will then type in your information, which includes your first name, last name, and your date of birth. Once you hit enter, your voter registration information will appear along with the link to your sample ballot. It is currently in test mode, and we encourage everyone to visit our website and to try it out. We welcome your feedback, and we're hoping to launch it within the next couple of days. Please know that the election is around the corner. Early voting begins on Tuesday, October 13th, and will continue through October 30th. Election Day is on November 3rd. Please know that Monday, October 12th is a national holiday. It's Columbus Day, so the offices are closed. So early voting won't start until October 13th, Tuesday. These are the updates that we have for today. Do you all have any questions at this time? Okay, I'll go ahead and I'll proceed with the agenda. Continuing on 77661, item number 2, approval of the November 2020 general election service contracts between Hidalgo County and the following entities for their elections to be held on November 3rd, 2020. A, La Villa Independent School District, and B, Mercedes Independent School District.
Move for approval.
Second.
A motion and second to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item 3, discussion, consideration, and action to approve agreement with Bird Ogden Arena for poll worker training and for use as a poll location on election day with authority for Yvonne Ramon, elections administrator, to execute same.
So move.
Approval. Second.
My understanding is that there is no cost to this.
No, sir, there is no cost. They pretty much, lent us the facility and we used it for training. It was wonderful. It was wonderful, very spacious, everything, and it's going to be used on election day.
We thank the city of Edinburgh and anyone else that's involved with that. We thank you for that. We have a motion and second to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Motion carries.
Judge, excuse me. Before we leave, before Ms. Salinas leaves, going back to 6A1, because of the governor's executive order on one drop box per county, do you have a location of where that drop box will be located?
Yes, it is here at the main office, Commissioner Fuentes. It is 213 South Klausner Boulevard here in Edinburgh. We do have a drop-off, like curbside drop-off, where you can drive to the back of our main office and you can call the phone number. It's pretty much set up like curbside, and one of our representatives will walk out to assist the voter with their ballot. They do need to have their voter ID, and the person dropping off the ballot needs to be that same person, that their ballot belongs to, yes.
And what are the hours for that?
8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Now, once early voting starts, it does extend the hours, which will be from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. We will be here available.
So you'll be following the general election hours that you have
Yes.
at the polling sites at the same place for the drop box?
Yes, sir.
And you'll put that on your website as far as the location and hours?
Yes, sir. We will go ahead and put it on our website, and we are preparing a press release to send out soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
16B.
Okay, let me go ahead and make that. Item 77660, Elections Department Center for Technology and Civic Life, CTCL 1283. Number 1, approval to accept grant award received from the Center for Technology and Civic Life, CTCL, for fiscal year 2020, period of June 15th, 2020 through December 31st, 2020, in the amount of $1,114,000.
Move for approval.
Second.
I have a motion and second to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 2, approval of certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor in the amount of $1,114,000 and appropriation of the same.
Approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Item 3, approval to create 10 full-time temporary positions effective today, October 6, 2020 through December 31st, 2020, with the authority to waive hiring and posting procedures. Of course, this is for our department, and it'll be slots T001 through T010.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Item 17C.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Danny Guzman, right-of-way agent for Precinct 1. Precinct 1 is requesting authorization approval on item 1, change the names of 2 public streets within Highland subdivision for LRGBDC 911 purposes, from Central Court to Hansel Street and Central Lane to Highland Street.
So move.
Second.
You have a motion second to approve. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Item 2 is to name a private road Turner SR, which is service road for LRGVDC 911 purposes.
Move for approval.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Item 3, to clarify county road name as Uncle Peter's Road from First Street in La Villa, Texas to Jaritas Road for LRGVDC 911 purposes.
For approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Item 4 is authorization for title reports, title commitments, title policies, appraisals, review appraisals, and acquisition of land for Niddler Road Bridge Replacement Project. CSJ 0921-02-445 and CSJ 0921-02-446.
Move for approval.
Is there
Second.
a second? Have a motion and second to approve. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Guzman.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners.
18A, Precinct 4.
Yes, Judge. Item 18A, A177688, requesting approval of right-of-way entry license and indemnification agreement from Calpine LLC by and through its authorized representative, L&G Engineering, with authorization for Hidalgo County Precinct Number 4 to execute as it relates to the FM 1925 project. Move for approval.
Approval. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. Mr. Cruz.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. Setting Review, Department of Budget Management, item 19A, discussion, consideration, and action to approve the amendment to the master agreement between Hidalgo County and People Fund to include modifications as listed on Exhibit A.
Move for approval.
Second.
Yeah, the modification is just to extend the number of years to.
The retention period, yes, we're extending the retention period from 3 to 5 years, and then making a change to a word from applicant to applicant from borrower.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 19B, discussion, consideration, and action to approve the ratification of necessary CARES Act Relief Fund expenditures as listed on Exhibit A, totaling $26,757 to cover costs not accounted for in the current budget and cannot be lawfully funded by line item, allotment, or allocation in connection with the ongoing COVID-19 public health emergency. The court, having reviewed the agenda item briefing, herein finds that such expenditures are reasonable and necessary for the intended use.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Item 19C, 1 and 2, discussion, consideration, and approval of amendment to the interlocal cooperation agreement between Hidalgo County, acting by and through the Hidalgo County District Attorney's Office, and the Tropical Texas Behavioral Health for the period of October 1st through January 31st for fiscal year 19 in relation to the continuation of the assistive outpatient treatment program, with authority for the county judge as authorized official to execute the agreement, and also the approval of the certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor in the amount of $8,333 and appropriation of the same.
Move for approval.
Second.
Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Item 19D is approval of correction to the 2020 adopted salary schedule effective January 1st, 2020. And this is for a victims assistance coordinator. And it's basically just a reallocation of funds due to grant restrictions.
Motion to approve. Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Item 19E is approval of salary schedule changes in accordance with the Hidalgo County Classification and Compensation Pay Plan effective 9/28/2020. And this is for a promotion of a custodian from a custodian 1 to a custodian 2.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Now, item 19F1A, approval of the application of funds for the Countywide Records Management Fund, Fund 1238, in the amount of $146.01.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries.
And finally, 19F1B is approval of the obligation of funds for the Court Reporter Service Fund, Fund 1239, in the amount of $70.53.
Move.
For approval. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
Judge, Commissioners.
Thank you, sir.
Ms. Salazar.
Yes, sir. Good morning, I think. Yes, it's still morning. 20A, 1A, discussion, consideration, and action to approve a necessary CARES Act relief fund expenditure to cover costs not accounted for in the current budget and cannot be lawfully funded by line item allotment or allocation for Hidalgo County in order to assist with the county functions and compliance with public health measures related to the ongoing COVID-19 public health emergency, with establishing a Wi-Fi project to assist the citizens with distance learning, including technology improvements, as well as improving telework capability. The court, having reviewed the agenda item briefing, herein find that such expenditure is reasonable and necessary for its intended use.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item B is requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code 262-024A1 and 2 attached herein.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item C, acceptance and approval of a change request form, also known as a change order, between Hidalgo County and Insight for the installation of poles in connection with the Hidalgo County Wi-Fi project, including the authority to process a purchase order or approve a PO increase if applicable, and disclosure by vendor that no signature is required for this form. May I have action?
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Item 2, we're requesting approval to reject the sole response received by a non-responsive and incomplete bid for the project titled Bulk Gasoline and On-Off Highway Diesel Fuel and Other Related Products, with approval of revised and modified specifications and bid page, subject to the Hidalgo County DA Civil Section, a final review as to legal form, and that has been obtained. I ask for your approval.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries.
20B for Precinct 1, 1A, pursuant to Texas Local Government Code 263-151-1, authority to declare as salvage the property located at 1711 North Bridge Avenue, Weslaco, Texas, known as the Hidalgo County Juvenile Youth Village, as the current state of the structure and buildings pose a hazard to staff and visitors, and renovations are cost prohibitive.
It's coming. So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item B is pursuant to Texas Local Government Code 263-152, approve the destruction of the structures and buildings and proceed with awarded demolition by Commissioners Court on September 29th to Camacho Demolition of the structures and buildings located at 1117 North Bridge Avenue, Weslaco, Texas.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
Motion and second to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item C is pursuant to Texas Local Government Codes 263-152, 151-2, and 151A3A and B. Action to declare surplus and salvage a plaque as indicated in the engineering drawings and donate it to the City of Weslaco Museum as it serves a public purpose.
Motion to approve. Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries.
20C1 for Precinct 3A, presentation of the scoring grid for the purpose of ranking by Hidalgo County Commissioners Court of the firm submitting responses to Hidalgo County project specific RFQ with P, number 164, a professional engineering services for inspection material testing and construction management for the Mile 3 North Road project from FM 492 Goodwin Road to Tom Gill Road in Hidalgo County Precinct 3.
Move for approval.
Second.
A motion and second to approve. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item B is authority for the purchasing department to negotiate a professional engineering services agreement commencing with the number one rank. I didn't give you the scores. B2Z Engineering with a score of 294, GDJ Engineering with a score of 275, and Coastline Civil and Railing Engineering at 286. Does the court wish to rank them in the order of their scores?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item B is requesting for purchasing department to commence to negotiate professional services agreement with commencing with the number one firm of B2Z Engineering LLC for the project just named.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Under item C2, authority to advertise and approval of procurement packets subject to TxDOT's written notice of release of federal funding prior to distribution of packets to interested vendors and parties, which may prompt the changing of applicable dates for Mile 3 North Road project from Tom Gill to FM 492, including the re-advertisement if it's necessary.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Item D, 20D for Precinct 4, 1 is A, requesting approval of the First Amendment to the service contract between Hidalgo County Precinct 4 and DICE Productions to extend the termination date to December 31st, 2020, not as posted, that's a typo, 27, we're asking for December 31st of 2020.
Move for approval.
We have a motion and second to approve. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item B is ratification of an event held on Friday, October 1st in connection with the movies at the park under the terms and conditions permitting the postponement and rescheduling of same.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries.
20E1 for the Elections Department, A, discussion, consideration, and action to approve necessary Help America Vote Act, aka HAVA, CARES Act relief funds, expenditures to cover costs not accounted for in the current budget and cannot be lawfully funded by line item allotment or allocation for the Hidalgo County Elections Department to obtain necessary technology, equipment, and related items required as a function of the government and of the county's efforts in mitigating the ongoing COVID-19 emergency. The court, having reviewed the agenda item briefing, herein finds that such expenditures are reasonable and necessary for the intended use. May I have action?
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item B is requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements pursuant to Texas Local Government Code 024A1 and 2 as posted on the agenda. May I have action?
So moved.
Move for approval. Second.
We have a motion and second to approve. All in favor say aye.
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 Carries.
Item C, requesting approval to purchase WVK cellular laptops with Windows 10 and Protect software used for election purpose from Votech Corporation for the total of $84,000 for the upcoming presidential election.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and second to approve. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item D, requesting approval to purchase security cameras from Mood. 3 quotes were requested. Mood was the lowest bid for the total of $12,138.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and second to approve. All in favor say aye.
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 Carries.
Item E is requesting approval to purchase access control system from Mood with the same protocol was in place with a total of $21,516.36.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 20F for the Sheriff's Office, presentation of multiple bids received herein for the purpose of multiple award and approval of contracts for the request for bids titled commissary supplies for the adults, for Hidalgo County's adult detention facility, also known as the jail. The multiple vendors are Bob Barker Company Incorporated, Keith LLC, R&R Distributing, and ICS Jail Supplies. Could I have
approval? Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Health and Human Services. 1A, discussion, consideration, and action to approve a necessary CARES Act relief fund expenditure to cover costs not accounted for in the current budget and cannot be lawfully funded by line item allotment or allocation. For the Health Department modular unit repairs in order to assist the county with medical expenses addressing the ongoing COVID-19 public health emergency, the court, having reviewed the agenda item briefing, herein finds that such expenditure is reasonable and necessary for its intended use.
Move for approval. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item B, exemption from competitive bidding requirements pursuant to Texas Local Government Code 262-024A1 and 2 as posted on the agenda.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item C is requesting approval to accept proposal from HERCON in the amount of $55,900.82. There is a correction there. $55,900.82 through our membership and participation with the by-board contract, job order contractors for the remodel and repair of the county-owned modular building in connection with the repair services and subject to complete verification of all line items.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
That is all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Marty.
Judge Commissioners, with your permission, item 21A, 1 and 2, there is no action to be taken this week. Judge Commissioners, I will ask that we go to closed session, and then after closed session, we'll come back to items 21B, 22, and yes.
All right. Pursuant to Chapter 551 of Texas Government Code, Section 551.071, 551.072, 551.074, 551.087, we will be going into closed session to discuss those items. Any action items to be taken will be taken in open session when we return. I have a motion to do so.
Approval. Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. It is 11:41. We're moving into closed session. Okay, we're back from closed session. It's 7 minutes after 12. I do believe we do have some action items.
Yes, sir. Judge Commissioners, with your permission, take up the open session item from closed. Open session item 25A, real estate acquisition appropriation for same. There's no action to be taken today. 25B, pending and or potential litigation. No action to be taken. 25C, discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding response to public health emergency. Judge Commissioners, I will refer back to item 21, 21B and 22 in a couple minutes. If I may then go to item D, and for the record, Judge Cortez will be abstaining from any discussion and or action under item 25D. And so, Commissioners, item 25D is request by International Bank of Commerce, IBC, property tax accounts. Commissioners, for the record, I will proceed as directed.
Can I get a motion?
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 25E, County of Hidalgo versus Maria Teresa Ramirez and Juan David Ramirez, which would be 20-0097-J21. Judge Commissioners, I'd like for the court to entertain a motion to accept in settlement of the County of Hidalgo versus Maria Teresa Ramirez and Juan David Ramirez in the amount of $1,430.22.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion, a second to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And Valda, just so it's clear for the record, that is only as to the State Farm defendants.
Yes, state. Yes,
not
the
the settlement of the entirety of the
right.
claim. Okay, thank you.
All right. For the record, only as it pertains to the state farm of the case. Item 25F, claim of Robert Sanchez. Judge Commissioners, I'd like Settlement Authority to make an offer in the amount of $2,428.34. Settlement.
Move for approval.
Second.
I have a motion, a second to approve. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
So, Judge Commissioners, for the record, then let me do a little bit of cleanup work. Item 24A, there is no action to be taken, and 24B, there is no action to be taken. So if I return back to item 21B, as I indicated earlier, there is no action under item 21A, 1 and 2. 21B, CARES Act Relief Fund expenditure sites, real estate stockpile facility. 1, ratification of amendment of approved real estate sales contract extending the closing date. We can have action to that effect.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Item 21B2. Item 21B2, authority for county judge and or executive officer to execute the closing documents of such real property acquisition. And item 21B3, authority for the county treasurer to issue payment via wire transfer after review and auditing procedures are completed by the county auditor.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 22, Judge Commissioners, discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding A, county response to disaster health emergency. 1, CARES Act funds. A, memorandum of understanding with Edward Boys and Girls Club. B, C, D, E, and F would be MOU, memorandum of understanding with McAllen Boys and Girls Club. MOU with Mission Boys and Girls Club, MOU with FAR Boys and Girls Club, MOU with San Juan Boys and Girls Club, and MOU with Westaco Boys and Girls Club. With respect to the Boys and Girls Club memorandums of understanding, could we have some action?
So move.
Second. Did you mention Edinburgh as well?
Yes, ma'am, which was the first one.
Oh, the first. Okay.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And then item G, or G, memorandum of understanding with Amigos del Valle. Could I have action on that one? Or
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And item 24H, I, and J are as follows: interlocal cooperation agreement with Westlaco ISD, interlocal cooperation agreement with Mission ISD, and interlocal cooperation agreement with Monte Alto ISD.
Move for approval. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Judge Commissioners, item 24B, measures necessary to preserve public health and safety. The court has taken some action on the prior items. And item 24C, direction regarding county government operations, including but not limited to essential functions. Judge Commissioners, again, for the record, we continue to practice CDC guidelines, social distancing, recommended hand washing, facial covering, and taking on a case-by-case basis our maintenance and sanitizing of our county facilities. Again, this is all done for the health and safety of our residents and our constituents doing business with Hidalgo, as well as our employees with the county. Item, we've gone to close. We've come back under open. We've taken no action under item 24A and 24B. Judge Commissioners, there is no need to go back into closed session. Item 26 will be no action, and item 27, open session, will be no action as well. I believe we have covered all matters on the agenda, and so we have adjournment.
We have a motion to adjourn.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We're adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Judge Commissioner.
Thank you.